Well, we're live, YouTube. How yous all doing? I thought I'd have a wee chat and a beer with the peoples. It's getting fucking cold now. It just changes like that. The weather. So I thought, I'm getting a notification on my watch. My new watch. Had to get like one of these GPS watches because it really made me, when I broke my ankle in the middle of that field, actually made me think about like my safety. That could have been a mine shaft or some shit like that. I could have fell down a hole and broke my leg and never been found again. So got myself one of these. I've got the front seal here. Yeah. GPS watch. Yeah, we've got a chatter. How you doing? Oh, we've got two. How's all doing, guys? First, I want to thank everybody that's wished me well on my foot. It's getting better, man. I'm fucking walking around now. I'm driving a wee bit. Flatback, how you doing? Alright, so just want to say thanks to everybody that's gave me all the best wishes and everything like that. I'm getting better, man. Just no being at work. Kinda sucks. Kinda sucks. Oh, you can't. Oh, I forgot that I'm not using StreamYard. I was going to put your message on the screen. Flat facts. There we go. Oh, we've got 4 people in. So I've had a lot of time to contemplate what am I going to do with this channel. Paul Curran, how you doing, mate? Just sitting outside in the old garden. How's the sound coming through? All right. I'm just using the wee mic because I don't know what to shout too much. I don't know if that's a planet or a star up there. See that? I think it might be a planet. I'm hearing a lot of the whole fucking 29th of September shite again by the Doomsday Sayers. What the fuck they're called. Aye, good to see you, Paul Curran. Nice to see you, mate. Sounds alright. Good stuff. So I'm having a wee beer, guys. A wee sneaky beer on there. It's a wee, what they call Barra Moretti's. Quite popular with the youth. The youth, the yuppies. But I've been off work for like fucking over 6 weeks now. And it's pretty pish getting like sick pay. And I've not had full wages, I've had sick pay. So do you know what I thought I'd do? I thought I'd monetise my channel to see if I can earn an extra buck. That was a fucking bad idea. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have folded. I've always said I was never going to put ads on my YouTube videos. But do you know what I realised, guys? I was making videos and fucking YouTube were putting adverts on my videos anyway. They were putting adverts on my videos anyway. There was no copyright music, there was fuck all. And they were putting advertisements on my videos anyway, so I thought, fuck it. I might as well monetise it. That might be Saturn, man. It might be Saturn. It could be. What a pile of shit that is. Like, I've got like a quid for like 2,000 views. No, even a pound. It was like 89 pence or something for like 2,000 views. That is pish. So I'm going to turn the monetisation off. There's no point in that, or I'm just going to say something tonight to get it turned off. Like, fuck the fucking trans movement, or fucking the Ukraine war's a load of shit. COVID fucking was a load of shit. Hope YouTube takes my monetisation away. Because I'm just going to have to go through the videos again and demonetise them. Because I'm no monetising them for that shit. 9 people, how yous doing? Paul Curran, Flat Fact. Anyone else there? D, you there, buddy? So I'm just at nearly midnight having a wee sneaky beer. Hope you're doing good. I've had loads of time to contemplate, man. Fucking. Yeah, you need massive sub amounts to make a living off YouTube. Start mirroring popular trends and shit if you really want. And nah, I didn't really. I thought, do you know what? I thought being off work, because I've been off work, I'm getting like fucking hardly any wage. I thought I'd make an extra buck or two off my videos. Do you know how long I've had my fucking YouTube video, my channel for now? Since 2009. 2009 I've had this channel. That's crazy, man. That's OG. Never once tried to monetize, fuck all, ever. Oh, anyone see that fucking, my missus? Saturday night, me and my missus get an Indian, we have a wee drink and we have a wee beer or whatever. And she's insistent we watch this Russell Brand fucking thing. Oh my god. What a fucking hour and a half of my life I'll never get back. None of that shit would stand in a court. It was that emotional based bullshit. You know what I mean? Most of the women, it sounds like I've just a fucking bunch of scorned women that didn't like the way he acted with women. You know what I mean? There was nothing illegal there. Nah, YouTube doesn't like mirroring vids. But that Russell Brand shite, man. See, after I watched the Russell Brand stuff, I thought, this is either a promotion for the guy, because there's nothing in there that made him look bad, really. Just made him look like a shagger. And it just made all these women. And do you know what? They used these women who had pseudonyms. They were acted by actresses, but they still had them cut out, and it was all dramatised, and it was fucking, what a lot of shite that was. I'm not even a Russell Brand. I didn't even like Russell Brand, so I'm starting to think that maybe it could be a promotion video for him. Again, if anything, this is going to make him more popular, because it was fucking a lousy hit video, a hit piece, a slander piece. Right, I'm going to have another quick fag out here before I go inside. I might go inside and make a toasty or something. Quite hungry. I hope you are all doing good. That looks like the end of the summer. Fucking, that's the summer dead. But I quite like that. Less midges when I'm on my walks. The ground's a wee bit harder because there's less rain. That's all we get in the fucking summer in Scotland is rain. It never stops raining. And I'm sort of swithering what to do with my YouTube channel again. I was thinking about doing live streams again, like panels, people coming up again, talking about their worries about today's societies, the way this feminism shit is going overboard. And I think the Russell Brand video kind of shows you that shit. What was it? Emotional. Oh, it's emotionally, you done this emotion, offended emotionally. Like, they got raped emotionally. They even got raped. They got raped emotionally. It's fucking everywhere, man. It's so obvious. Like, all the movies that are coming out, they're all changing into women and that kind of fucking Thor's a woman, fucking, what was it, the Hulk's a woman, fucking everything's coming out. It's so fucking cringe. It's so obvious as well, man. It's fucking cringe. Like, come on, you telling me fucking women want to see the new Thor as women? Surely there's women out there that watch fucking the superhero films and see Chris Hemsworth with his fucking muscles and that and go, oh, again, this is the reason why I'm watching this, again, Chris Hemsworth. But now it's all women. They're actually doing a disservice to women by turning all these fucking heroes into women. And where's the men? You know what I mean? There's a new game out as well, that Starfield game. And my son, he loves these gaming and can. So I checked out some of this Starfield because I was a big Fallout fan and kind of liked my Skyrim, my Fallout, and this was meant to be like Skyrim in space and all that shit. So I watched some videos reviewing it and fucking, there's not even a white guy in it. Like everybody is like fucking, it was like white men have been wiped off the planet. You know what I mean? How you doing, Adrian? London McLovin? You still doing your AI fucking holy book? What the fuck it's called? The AI holy book? Like, what the fuck? It doesn't even make sense, mate. Bye. Good to see you, Adrian McLovin. The world's fucked, man. The world's fucked. Totally. Then I see it ending on the 29th. Like, you'll see, I'm telling you guys, there's a lot of people running about saying the end is here. The fucking 29th of September. We're all fucked. It's the end. How many times have we heard that pish, guys? You find it a lot within the Christian scenes, you know what I mean? Anyone else out there heard about the 29th of September being the end of days? Sometimes I wish it fucking was, to be honest with you. Get rid of this fucking shit and start again. The way the world is nowadays, man, it's fucking, it's went backwards, it's going upside down, it's fucking inverted. Flat Fact says, I'm up to at least my 180th end of the world scenario. Nah, there's always a new doomsday shit. Aye. Well, this guy that I'm watching, he's called, what's his name? I've watched him for a long time. He subbed to me years ago with the flat Earth and all that. Is it Jason? Somebody like that. But he's saying that God's sending him messages. That's why he's making his videos, because God's sending him these messages. And the end is in the 29th. I mean, right, let's get back inside anyway. I think I've painted my wall a new colour, orange. I need to be quiet. Everyone's in their bed. Everyone's got school and work in the morning. I'm the dosser, dossing about the house. Fucking nothing to do in housework. Like a woman. What's happening to my TV, man? I got a new sofa. Get this shit. What's this with a new sofa, man? New sofa, man. What? Oh shit! Was that? Get this shit. You see that? No, you probably can't see it. Fucking electric fucking recliner. But I still prefer my old comfy couch, man. It's lying out in my garden and now. Got to chuck it in the bonfire. Bonfire night. It's getting thrown in the bonfire. I'll probably do a video on that. But I'm sort of in two minds, guys. I've got sort of a few ways I want to go with my channel. Or maybe I might do a bit of everything eventually. But it's hard to get motivated when you're stuck in the fucking house. I've been like a prisoner in my own body. Now I know what it's like to feel for these COVID idiots that lock themselves up. You know what I mean? I went out even more. I thought it was brilliant when fucking everybody was locking themselves in. I was going on all kind of adventures with nobody around. It was like 28 weeks later. It was great. But now I'm kind of stuck in the house, man. It's brutal. But I'm starting to walk about now. I'm starting to be able to go on some walks, some light walks. Even pressing the pedals of my car, it's a bit sore, after a few a couple of hours of driving, should we say. But aye, I was thinking about doing panels again. Maybe open panels, because this monetisation, I was thinking, I'll monetise my channel, maybe make a few quid at it. It isn't happening. Like, I might as well just be as fucking open and frank again. Like, I was trying to keep my channel clean and do less stuff that YouTube doesn't agree with. Try and keep it kind of family friendly. But fuck that, man. It's a fucking waste of time. That's why I'm a bit hesitant to do my panels sometimes, because you know what my panels get like, guys. It's you didn't want your kids watching it, put it that way. Oh look, I'm live. I'm live on my YouTubes. It didn't even let me take a picture for my thumbnail. Oh look, how's my quality coming through? How's my sound? It's a bit low, but I am speaking low, guys. How about that Russell Brand stuff? How you doing, Mick? Nice to see you, man. Aye, did anyone watch that Russell Brand stuff, man? It was, like I said, I didn't even want to fucking touch it with a barge pole, because even before it started, I said to my missus, this'll be some pish. She was like, oh, come on, everybody's talking about it, we need to watch it. It's some big reveal that's going to happen. So I sat for like an hour. I was like, this shit's still not finished yet. Fucking babe, that's been an hour. Fucking hell, we still watching this? And there was just all these fucking, it's like disgruntled women that didn't like getting shagged off of you. Well, they did like getting shagged at the time, but because Russell Brand like jumps from woman to woman, like it just seemed like this line he scorned women. Aye, the whole Russell Brand stuff. But to be honest, I was never into Russell Brand. But I've noticed his YouTube channel's got pretty big. Again, he's got like something like six and a half million subs, and that's fucking huge, man. And you probably find that people are tuning into his channel for the news rather than the mainstream. So the mainstream could be flapping here right now, because Russell Brand's kind of picking apart fucking a lot of shit, including the Ukrainian war, and all that pish. So it could be an attack on his channel, his personality, whatever it is, or it could be a promotion for the cunt. Because to me, if anything, people will probably subscribe to him after that shite. And you got the this is old news, like, but this Hawaiian stuff came with the Hawaiian fires, and Oprah Winfrey and The Rock. Fucking hell, man. So cringy, man. The thing is, if you're going to live on a fucking volcanic island, expect shit to catch fire sometimes, you know what I mean? You are living on a fucking volcanic island. And they're trying to make it as man-made. Oh, this is climate change. This is why the fire started, because of climate change. You're living on a fucking volcano. And it's still pretty active, I think, Hawaii. Again, it's still fucking fire spouting at that. I'm sure Hawaii's getting bigger and bigger, because it is a volcano, you know what I mean? So they're going on about Hawaii being burned down by climate change that we caused, you know what I mean? Asking people, Oprah Winfrey and The Rock, asking the normal average Joe to go into their pockets and fuck off. Joe Biden, get your finger at your arse. Stop fucking snuggling up to Ukraine and fucking help your people out, you fucking old prick. That's not a surprise. Our country's the same here. We'd rather fucking stick our noses in other people's business and help our own homeless and all the rest of it. You know what I mean? It's a joke. It's a fucking joke. It's just a way to swindle money. Nobody's getting money. Anyway, that looks like the summer's over. Thank fuck. That was the shittest summer I've ever had, guys. I swear to God. Hardly been anywhere. Hardly done anything. Hardly seen any sunshine. It was fucking shite. Broke my ankle. I mean, then they get to, there's so many fucking castles, and I had all these places I wanted to visit. couldn't do it, can't do it, and I'm probably not going to be able to do it for another few weeks. So I was thinking maybe some panels, some guests coming up, just to talk about shit. Talk about their days, talk about their weeks, talk about their life. Because it's another thing, I've been pretty fucking lonely. Like I've apart from my kid, like my kids are not that keep me going, you know what I mean, and my missus, but apart from that, I've really had no fucking human contact with hardly anyone at all. No conversations, fucking kind of just sitting contemplating, kind of, and by the time I fucking think it's another day, you know what I mean, it's another day's finished. My computer is just fucking, it's so much, my Mac, just here, you probably can't see it because it's so dark. My Mac, I try and start it up for a StreamYard, try and get it all ready for a guest night, so we can all have a good chat, and it just keeps fucking restarting. And the apple appears on the screen, and the bar comes up, and it all loads up, and then it just fucking shuts down again, and it's like, cloud, you're out of memory, you're out of this, and it's like, fucking hell, man, it never ends, you know what I mean? I was going to try it tonight, but I thought, fuck it, I'll just go on my phone and speak to the people that way. But I miss yous guys, I miss the interaction with the chat. Vicnoid, play this short video about Mal fires, it's obvious government did it. So do you think they actually deliberately set the fires in Hawaii? Do you think someone was running about with a flame going around just setting shit? And Oprah Winfrey lives there, I ken that for a fact, so maybe she's trying to make some extra estate for herself. I mean, that's what a lot of people didn't realise as well, that they create destruction so they can make these contracts. It's like building contracts and all that. See all these fucking countries they go and have wars with, like Ukraine or fucking Iraq or whatever. When the dust all settles, they get the big contractors that can just start building stuff. You know what I mean, once they take over that country. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was the Hawaii thing was something to do with fucking building contracts, or maybe to just get rid of homes, rickety fucking homes, like shacks. See these flies as well, man. These wee fucking tiny flies. Ugh. That's another thing I'm looking forward to the winter. Getting fucking flies all die off. But Vicnoid, I'm doing a YouTube stream right now, so from my phone, so I can't really see the play this short video about Mao free. It's always oh, YouTube won't let me. Aye. I will find something though, because shit. I've watched a few bits and pieces. Oh, 351 Cleveland Modified Motors live. Let's see what he's doing. Wonder if he's playing the keyboard. There he is there, look. I'll keep him on in the background. I'll be coming up for summer for him in New Zealand, He'll be getting some fucking weird weather probably on the 29th of September. Aye, but that whole Hawaii thing, man, fucking, you can see there was something fucking up with that as well. Especially when all these celebrities start coming out and they're begging, you know what I mean? A fucking joke. But I've missed my YouTubes, guys. I've missed speaking in my chat. And like I said, I want to just say thanks to all the people that have wished me all the best for my ankle and speedy recoveries and all that. And I'm getting better, guys. It's getting better. But I'm kind of physically, I wouldn't say I'm physically losing it, but I'm missing the physical aspect of my job. And lifting shit, going up and down stairs and just being physical kind of every day, sweating. Can't remember the last time I broke sweat. You know what I mean? So I am kind of missing the job. I'm missing the boys at my work as well because they're good lads. They are good lads. I'm just kind of being a prisoner in my fucking own body. Brutal, guys. First time I ever broke anything in my whole life. I break my fucking ankle, man. Why can I not broke my arm or something instead? At least I could still go on my walks. Because I can do my streams one-handed. I usually do my streams one-handed because I'm usually holding a phone anyway and climbing fucking up cliff faces and shit like that. Recovery does suck. But I've stopped taking the ibuprofens and the fucking paracetamol and all that stuff because that shit just makes you constipated, man. You take too much painkillers like that and you just can't fucking shit. You can't even have a crap properly. You know what I mean? So I stopped taking them weeks and weeks ago, all the painkillers. My ankle's getting a lot better, definitely. But aye, cheers, Vic. Who was it? Who's it? Flat Facts. Aye. Aye, cheers, man. Or her, miss. Aye, but winter's coming up. The good time of the year, October, and that Halloween, and then you've got the bonfire night, and then you've got New Year's. Again, that time of the year is good, man. Again, it is. Apart from the weather, but the weather's shite in Scotland anyway, so does it matter? Oh, another thing, guys. I'm going to go to Iona, Isle of Iona. If anyone's heard about that place, it's got Iona Abbey. It's got the place where all the ancient kings of Scotland, the proper kings of Scotland, are buried on Iona. All the fucking Stuarts, all the fake fuckers are up in Dunfermline Abbey. But the real kings of Scotland, man, they're over in Iona, in the Abbey, where St Columba apparently started a monastery. So I'll be looking forward to going to Iona in November for a weekend. That's going to be cool. My missus is going to be paying for it for my birthday. For my birthday, I'm going to be 41, guys. 41. 41. 41. God, I started making videos on YouTube in my early 30s and now I'm 41. That's crazy. That is crazy. These are big ass bottles, I've got to say. 660 mils. 660 mils. That's a big ass bottle. And the biggest sort of, they're usually like 500 mils, and the 650, man, that's nearly a litre. It's a good shit, man. It's a Birra Moretti. It's Italian. It was founded in Italy in 1859 by Luigi Moretti. So, motor's still there. He's just tapping his fingers to the old Bob Marley. Still a great face at 41. I can hear somebody creeping about. It's maybe my son. I'm not too wrinkly yet, and I'm not too grey. I've got to say. I ken a lot of people that are practically bald and grey and wrinkly ass and in their 30s. You know what I mean? So I'm still looking alright for 41, guys. I think that's the good walks and the fresh air that can exercise at my work, because I'm constantly like on the go. That's why getting this broken ankle is brutal, man. Because my life's just physical, and I love being physical. I love my walks, and I love my hiking up hills. I love my job. I do like my job, I've got to say, because I could have easily got a job somewhere else, but I'm loyal that way. I'm fucking pretty loyal. Same with my missus. I've been with my missus over 20 years. Been at my job for I've known the boss for over 20 years. That's just part of my character. I'm a loyal sort of person. Fucking hell, Motor. Motor needs to fix his sound, man. He's watching him anyway. 3 watching. How you doing, Epic? Nice to see you, man. Aye, I just thought I'd do a late night stream, mate. Just have a wee moan about YouTubes and the world and all that fucking shite that goes along with it. I tried to monetize my channel. Again, I went through the whole YouTube partner fucking stuff. Had my channel reviewed and accepted, and oh, you can be a YouTube person. And I thought, Barry, this might help my channel. In fact, YouTube might want to even push my stuff instead of hiding it. You know what I mean? But if anything, it's made my channel shitter. Okay, my videos have got adverts in them now, so I'm going to try and fuck that up somehow. Either go through my videos and demonetize them, or just have live panels where I'm talking about anything I want, and YouTube turn around and go, sorry, we don't want to monetize you anymore. That'd be cool with me. I don't fucking care. It's not worth it. I think you take off on TikTok, especially your knowledge of Scottish history. Oh well, my Mac's off there now, but I've got some stuff up on my Mac about the Chaldeans from the Bible. You've probably heard of the Chaldeans. And the Chaldee is Scotland. And I'm telling you, man, the Chaldeans and the Chaldee are the fucking same people. I'm fucking telling you, man, that they must be the same people. The thing is, the Chaldean, Ken, is like nobody knows who the Chaldee were. And they were fucking, they've been written in history, they're real, and nobody fucking knows who they were, but everyone knows who the Chaldean are for the Bible, and nobody knows if this stuff's even true. I mean, I think the Chaldeans are the same as the Chaldee. And I had pages up of stuff, and I was going to do a stream and show you, and fucking my computer just won't. Well, when were the Chaldee? Well, the Chaldee was meant to be between the 1st and the 4th century. The Chaldee. The Chaldeans were meant to be like Iron Age, like fucking, I think it's like 1000 BC, the Chaldeans. And the Chaldee were meant to be like 100 to 400 AD. So, but fucking, I think there's more evidence that the Chaldee for Scotland and Ireland existed than the Chaldeans for Babylon and Mesopotamia, Iraq sort of area. So Ben Cansio, are ancestry apps really that accurate? I have my true ancestry. Now this is something else I wanted to talk about as well. The whole ancestry stuff, man. It's a fucking pile of bullshit. Right, here we go. Ben Cansio, are ancestry apps really that accurate? I have my true ancestry saying my ancestors lived in Choco Canyon in the west, and they were religious leaders and mystics. Later they became cannibals. That's a bit heavy. How the fuck did you find that about yourself and ancestry? But my point is that ancestry, right? They'll show you your communities, what community you came from, and it only goes back to like the 1700s, right? Like, you're lucky if it goes back to the end of the 1700s, like the beginning of the 1800s. And do you know what? That's when records fucking began. That's when birth certificates began and fucking stuff like that, like in that kind of period. Any other records before like the 1800s is like the church and shit like that. So, do you know what I think Ancestry do? Ancestry have access to all your records. So, you give them permission to look into your stuff by giving them the DNA. That's just a fucking permission, a tick for them to go into your records. And do you know what? Ancestry can build up a genetic profile of you just using your records without even, do you know what? Without even giving you a drop of DNA. All Ancestry do is look at your parents, right? This is what they do. They look at they look at you, and they go into your parents. They go, right, your mum and dad was Scottish and Irish, right? and they look at your grandparents for both sides, and they go, right, well, the Irish dad had 2 Irish parents, the Scottish mum had 2 Scottish parents, right, let's go back another generation. So you've now got 4, you've now got the parents of the parents of the parent, and they're like, all right, so the Scottish side, there's now a French person in there. They've got a French great granddad. Let's throw in 5% French. Let's throw in 5% French, right? Look at the Irish side. Now they're still all Irish. They're still Irish, right? They're Irish right through. But look at the Scottish side. They've maybe got a French guy in there, or maybe got a Swedish guy in there. Let's throw in 5%, and then they come up with this result at the end, and they go, oh, right, you're 80% this, you're 90 can, or you're 90% that, and you're 10% this, and it's just by looking at your records. They don't have to fucking. Ancestry only goes back like a couple of 100 years, man. 300 years at the most. I'm telling you, man. They can't see what your ancestry was beyond that. I don't think. They're just kind of guessing. I think this whole ancestry DNA is a big fucking scam, man. It's a big fucking scam. And you know how the first time I realised ancestry DNA was a scam, right? It was when people were contacting me, or I was trying to contact people who were my cousins, apparently. Oh, you've got a cousin, you've got a match, you've got a cousin. This could be your first cousin. And I'm like, holy shit, a first cousin? How do I not know them? And then I would try and contact that first cousin. And it was just like, there's no photograph, there's no fucking, their profile's got nothing, and they don't reply to you. Again, it's just like a fake, it's like a fake relative they put in there just to keep you holding on. And it's like they give you these fake relatives to make you buy more. Oh, Ancestry. You've already bought the fucking package for Ancestry, but they want you to buy more so you can go into the records and and I think they do this, try and entice you to do this by giving you little relatives that are maybe related to you. And I'm telling you, man, the Ancestry stuff's a fucking scam. Do I look, guys, I'm like, what am I again? I'm like, something like 65% Irish, or 70% Irish, or something like that, or 65% Irish and 35% Scottish. You know what I mean? Look at me. I'm like over 6 feet tall, okay, and I'm fucking dark. Look at my eyes. I'm fucking got the darkest eyes in the world. You tell me these have never, are these Irish eyes? Are these fucking Irish eyes? You know what I mean? I've got darker eyes than fucking Trevor Nelson on the fucking telly, and he's a black guy. You know what I mean? Like, I think Ancestry is the biggest load of shit, the biggest con. I don't think it's a proper ancestry thing. I think it's like a gimmicky fucking thing. So I wouldn't look too far into this ancestry DNA stuff. I wouldn't go out getting fucking Viking tattoos if you found some Norwegian. When I first done Ancestry, right, I came back as 98% European. Or no, I was 97% European. My other 3% was West Asian. West Asian. And do you know what? That's not there anymore. That's not fucking there anymore. No, that's away. And then I came back so much French and so much this and so much that. That's not there anymore. Now they've whittled me down to like fucking Irish Scottish. Just Irish and Scottish. They've narrowed it down to just Irish and Scottish. When my mum was Scottish and my dad was Irish. Is that the best they can do? Is that the best they can fucking do? Right, here's something, right? No way is that the real Glenn Butler. No way. Is that Glenn Butler? If that's the real Glenn Butler, please stand up. What was I going to say there, man? Aye, right. See, if Ancestry was legitimate, right, and we were all came from Africa, right? Apparently, to the mainstream, we all came from fucking Africa. So why doesn't it say fucking 3% fucking African, or 5% African, or some shit like that? Where do you draw the line here? Like, we all came from Africa. Well, Ancestry.com should have fucking at least 1% African in my fucking DNA or something, or 0.1% African. And even if it wasn't African, that journey from Africa to fucking Europe and Britain, we obviously stopped off at some countries along the way before we came to fucking Britain. So where's all this? Where was all? Why is all this wiped out? Can we never just in Africa then teleported to fucking Ireland and Scotland? You know what I mean? There was got to be a journey there. So why are we missing all this fucking? So then you've got to ask yourself, so where does ancestry draw the line? And where do they fucking draw the line? No way that's Glenn. If that's you, Glenn, man, good to see you, mate. Good to fucking see you. I'm telling you. I tried to message you on another, I think you had one of your channels. Try to send you a message, man, say, hey, fucking, whatever happened, man, it's under the bridge, fucking, let's make up, whatever. You were a good guy, Glenn. I just think you went a bit fucking wild with this Pat Steer fucking stuff, man, and Jeff. You got sucked into Jeff. What was his name? Jeff. What was the cunt's second name? Come on, Glenn, tell me. Jeff. You know him. Jeff. If that's the real Glenn Butler, you know who I'm talking about. Jeff. Oh, you had to ruin it, YouTube. Jeff Stewart. Fucking Jeff Stewart. You got sucked into his fucking shite, mate. He was a proper piece of shit, him. Jeff Stewart. He was a Stewart. You know what I mean? The Stewarts have always been pieces of shit. Thing is, in Scotland, we glamorise the Stewarts like, oh, the Stewarts, oh, the Stewart dynasty, oh. The Stewarts were just a bunch of fucking Frenchmen. And see, the Stewarts, man, they didn't appear in Scotland until like the 14th century. The 14th fucking century, the Stewarts. I mean, we're calling them our kings and our fucking true kings and all this shit. Fuck off. They were foreigners, man. They were part of the whole Norman fucking conquest, man, these stewards. Same with the butlers, in fact. Again, they were like the Irish kind of stewards, the butlers. Because the butler became a sort of noble family in Ireland, but I'm sure they came from Normans as well. Jeff Stewart. Hey everyone, it's Jeff Stewart. He was a fucking dweeby. What a fucking dick. Wonder if he's still doing his fucking weird streams. I think a lot of it has to do with what you mentioned with the Chaldeans. And see, Pelagianism. Oh man, I've been reading into Pelagianism and it just seems like it was the true version of Christianity. Pelagianism. And they didn't believe in the fall of man. Pelagianism believed that every man was born pure like Adam was before he fucking ate the apple. And Pelagianism believed that every man has the free will to choose whether you want to go down the bad road or the good road. And you know what? I kind of respect that. Again, Catholicism tells you that you're fucking sin. You're already born sinned. Again, you can't have a sinful fucking... And even if you do bad shit, Catholicism believes that even if you do bad shit, that's because you're a sinner anyway. You're a sinner anyway, so again, God made you a sinner, so that's how you have all these fucking like Mexican crime fucking lords fucking... They'll go and murder someone and then they'll go to the church afterwards and get their wee fucking... They'll go into the little box and do their confession and... You know what I mean? So, I just got an email there from TBD, to be determined. That's cool. I can read my texts on my watch as well. This watch is pretty fucking awesome, by the way. This watch, you can hook it up to an app. Oh shit, what? That's a fucking email I just got. I can read it. I can read it from my watch as well. It tells me my stress levels and everything, man. What the fuck was I talking about there? Right, Ben Cansio, what have you heard about the MacArthurs related to King Arthur? I've got a mate called MacArthur. And fuck, he looks so Jewish. It's unreal, man. But that's what I've noticed too. This whole stereotypical look that Jews are meant to have. Fucking, there's loads of Scottish people that look that way. They've got big fucking noses, big ears, and they could easily pass as a Jew. And that kind of leads me down to the whole, guys, I've got this thing in my head where I'm starting to think that these Knights Templars, man, and everyone, well, kind of, not everybody glorifies them, but they're kind of seen as defenders of the faith and defending the pilgrims on the journey to the Holy Land. Well, I didn't believe the Holy Land was in the Middle East, right? So what were they doing then? So if I don't believe the Holy Land was in the Middle East, what were the Knights Templar doing going over to the Middle East? Well, guys, they were fucking slave trading. The Knights Templar were slave traders, man, and they were taking people for the UK, for Europe, into the Middle East and selling them. I'm telling you, man. And that's how you get the pirates. And these fucking pirates the pirates kind of tie into fucking the Templars as well. And the pirates used to steal people from Ireland and Britain and the Berbers, take them back to the Middle East, sell them on. This happened right up to the 1800s. They were fucking waiting on boats and taking people away. So I believe that the Knights Templar were probably trading in people. Because the Knights Templar were meant to be the first bankers and they created the first currencies. Well, the first currency was people. They were trading fucking people. And this is how you ended up with this batchy Scottish, Irish looking people in the Middle East probably. And trying to get back home, the Exodus, trying to get back home to the Holy Land. Their home is fucking Britain. Because they were taken from Britain to the Middle East. This whole idea of the Jews escaping slavery and the tribes escaping Babylon and all the rest of it, that's a metaphor for the people returning back to Britain that were taken into slavery, man. I believe the Templars were slave traders. And if you look at the very first crusade, guys, it wasn't Knights Templar. Do you know who the fucking first crusaders were? Kids. Apparently. It was a bunch of kids that went on the first crusade. Look this up, guys. Look up the kids' crusade or the children's crusade. It happened before any of the other fucking crusades. Like the proper ones with all the noblemen and the knights and all that shit. It was called the kids' crusade. The children's crusade. And a bunch of like kids, maybe like 100 kids, jumped on a boat to go to the Holy Land to do some fucking crusade. And they ended up getting taken into slavery anyway in Spain. I think it was Spain that got fucking put on a boat by the Middle Easterns and fucking taken into slavery. But it was a bunch of kids. Do you believe that shit? Do you believe a bunch of kids for like Britain and Europe could fucking lead a crusade to the Middle East? Are you way back then, before there was maps, before there was fucking... I'm telling you guys, that was the first fucking batch of slaves getting taken away. When you look at all the missing people over the years, kind of like even the potato famine and the fucking all this shit, and the crofters getting fucking removed. This was all sort of tied in with this shit, man. Just removing people off their land and displacing them, putting them fucking somewhere else to be serfs. Right, sorry guys, I'll read some of the chat because I'm going a bit of a rant. But the MacArthurs, there could be a good tie to the King Arthur's story. That's even King Arthur was a real person, and we're not even sure yet. I noticed a while back that none of the European kings had Christian biblical names until King David and King James. And David and James were kings of Scotland. King David was actually Malcolm III's son. He had Alexander as well. There was David and Alexander. Sorry guys, I'm trying to get the chat up. I noticed a while back that none of the European kings had Christian biblical names until King David and King James. Yep. A lot of Jewish people have red hair and pale skin. Reuben means red. They were setting up bank networks on trade routes. With people. I want to hear more about your theory on the Holy Land. The Holy Land is here, mate. Europe. I've got a feeling that France was probably Egypt. So when they talk about escaping Egypt back home, like getting away from the royals in Egypt, I think that's a metaphor for France. And if you look at Paris, I think this is why Paris have got the pyramids. They've got a pyramid in fucking Paris. They've got all this Egyptian shit in Paris. I think Paris could have been the old Egypt. I think that's like a metaphor for Egypt as France. And I think the Holy Land, like Israel, could be Britain or Ireland. I'm not sure. I think Ireland could be Babylon. It could be like a metaphor. I think all these places have been replaced with other fucking names. I've tried to research it, but you know way more. Oh, I've just, do you know what? I've read so many books as well. If you read some of Commons Beaumont stuff, he's quite good with all that shit, by the way. And I've done this whole book, Origins of Britain sort of thing, on my channel. So YouTube's got one of the watches, nice one. This is a Garmin. It's called a Garmin Solar. It's got GPS satellite and shit. So next time I break my ankle in the middle of, if it's in the middle of nowhere, instead of me like dragging myself to my car with a broken ankle, I might not be able to do that next time. So Epic says, my first ancestors to America were kids sold to a Spanish merchant. I can see it. There you go. There you fucking go. I definitely feel there is a connection between Ireland and Hebrews. The Hebrideans. Hebrides. The Hebrides. That's, when you think about it, Hebrew. There's a linguistic who points out the grammatic structure of Hebrew and Gaelic share some similarities. Yep. But you've got to remember there's Old Gaelic and there's like the modern Gaelic. There's like, and even the Old Gaelic words are totally different from the modern Gaelic words as well. I've listened to you going through that book 3 times. Jesus Christ. When I listen back sometimes I think, oh, the audio could have been better, and it was just the times. At the times, guys, it was like I never had all the fancy equipment. Sometimes I had this shoddy mic hanging around my neck doing those books. And I read them the best I could at the time. I think I could probably read them better nowadays, the Beaumont books. But aye, it's all bullshit when it comes to the Bible, man. It is. It's all bullshit. It's just it doesn't matter about the audio. Well, I know a lot of people like those readings because I've had quite a lot of views on it, and I've had a good feedback as well from those books. And do you know what? I try to do his latest book, Commons Beaumont's latest book. And do you know what? The editor contacted me. The editor of the book, because Commons Beaumont's obviously dead now. So the editor that brung out the book tried to fucking copyright me for it. Said, oh, that's not allowed, and reading my book, and fucking. So I said, you know what? Forget it. I took down the videos of the readings I done for that book, because the editor, or whoever the fuck it was, the publisher, wasn't happy about me reading it. The guy's dead. You know what I mean? And wouldn't you like his stuff to be out there? And if anything, I'm promoting your fucking book. You should be giving me a fucking pat on the back and saying thanks. You're promoting my book. But they think you're stealing for them. You know what I mean? But I've done a few books as well. Ireland, the Land of Ur. That was quite good. But these books I've read quite a few years ago now. It's hard to keep all this information in your head when it's been so long. But I don't believe for 1 second that Dust Bowl in the Middle East was ever the Holy Land. I don't. I think the Christianity spread from the west to the east, not the other way around, not east to west, from west to east it spread. So Epic's asking, what about the red-haired mummies they found in Chinese pyramids wearing plaid? I will. They reckon the Celtic peoples got as far as Asia, but I'm sure Genghis Khan was a redhead. They reckon. What do you think of Alan Wilson's research? Do you know what? Alan Wilson's research was alright, but he never kept an open mind. He was too biased towards Wales. Alan Wilson was all about Welsh, Welsh this, Welsh that, Welsh this, and where I'm more of a Briton in Ireland. I think Britain as a whole and Ireland was the place to be back in the day. But he was very Welsh centric, and he was very aggressive with his doubters, and he was very stubborn. And I heard he passed away recently as well, Alan Wilson. So I'm not saying it. I don't know what he's saying anything bad about a dead guy, but I think his stuff was okay. You know what I mean? It was all right. But there's some sketchy stuff, man. The whole Wilson and Blackett, because he had a partner called Blackett as well, um, and they bought some kind of house so they could dig in the garden, and apparently they found some kind of stone with some Arthurian stuff written on it, and most people reckon it was faked, and it was a fake sort of thing that he done. So I'm not too sure about the whole Wilson Blackett stuff, um, and they're very, and they want to sell books. I mean, they want to sell books, so they're going to say any old shit. But you've got a when you've got a book that you want to sell, you're going to feed the people any old shit so you can sell it. Where me, I'm just a researcher. I'm just looking for the truth, and I'm just looking for the truth about our people. People, I think that what he found about the king's list ending at Elizabeth the First is very interesting. So what was that? What was the king's list? Well, we all know that fucking Elizabeth and fucking all that royalty, all the Habsburgs, all these fucking they took over Britain. Only the real royals of Britain. Oh man, it's getting cold. I'm shivering like a little bitch here. And I seen some of Alan Wilson's arguments he was having with people online, and I thought he was a bit of a twat. I thought the way he dealt with certain aspects, he's a bit of a curmudgeon, kind of an old cantankerous. Cantankerous is the right word. But that maybe just happens to you when you get old and you get stuck in your ways. No way was that Glenn Butler. If that was Glenn Butler, mate, leave a comment on the video once it uploads, man. We'll get in touch. I wouldn't mind having a conversation with you, man. See what you've done over the last few years. I hope you're good anyway, mate. And like I said, I think you just got a bit wrapped up in the Jeff Stewart and Pat Steer and all this shit. I see that Martin Leakey's, man. He must have that must be a bird he's got over there. Because somebody's paying for Martin Leakey to go to Texas. There's no way his books are fucking. But good for him. Good for Martin. And Martin, I've watched Martin for a long time, and do you know what? He's been through some shit, got to say. So everything he's reaping now, you know what I mean? Why no? Why no? I'd rather see Martin reaping awards than fucking like Globebusters or something like that. So what's your theory on the difference between P and Q Celtic? I think they could be just different migrations, Epic. I think there was several migrations, and each time there was a migration, the the language changed a little bit. But it could be bullshit. It could be absolute fucking bullshit. I'm not too sure what came first. It's like the chicken or the egg sort of theory, yeah. But it's hard to find out which one came first, the P or the Q, because they've not really got a sister. And there's no really a sister branch. With English, you can sort of tie it down to the French, the Celtic language. You can find a trail with the English language. If you go back, you can find the evolution of the English language. But when it comes to the Celtic, the Gaelic, the P and the Q, there's only Indo-European before it really, and then you've got Manx, Gaelic, and whatever. So I'm totally no sure about it, mate. I'd be lying if I said I knew. You know what I mean? I'm not a linguist. I did I did read, I think it was 3 Noam Chomsky books when I was in my 20s. My late 20s, I read like 3 Noam Chomsky books, and he was right into his linguists. So the list ended with Elizabeth, and then it's strange and didn't. Well, they're all fucking inbreeds anyway. See, Charles needs to know that his mum and his dad were related. You know what I mean? Big time. And they shared more than one relation as well. And it's not like they shared just one relative. Elizabeth and Philip, they shared a few relations. I've still got my boy on the screen. I kind of feel sorry for Motor sometimes. Poor guy's locked in a shed like an animal, like a farmyard animal. He's in that shed. I just feel sorry for the guy sometimes. It makes you feel sort of lucky in your own position. But I, do you know what? I kind of want to do more research on the stuff that Epic's talking about. I really do. But there's so much. There's so much of it. And it becomes a tangled web, and you start losing yourself in it, because modern mainstream history is full of fucking holes, full of shit. And when you start being an alternative historian, you're looked at as a wacko because you don't follow the mainstream narrative of history. Well, do you know what? The mainstream narrative, you can see it right now with how history is playing out as we're alive. COVID, 9/11, all these things. In a few hundred years' time, people will be talking about these things as the mainstream set them out. Will 9/11, will all these events in history be talked about in a conspiratorial sense in a few hundred years' time? No, they're going to talk about it the mainstream way. And just like the history that you read, it's going to be the same. It's going to be the same. It's just going to be pushed at the same mainstream. We know there's holes in the mainstream. It's bullshit. They only want us to know what they want us to know. They've tried their best eradicating as much as they can all the ancient structures, all the clues to find out who our true ancestors are. And to be honest, I think we were probably fucking slaves for a long time here. For a very long time. It's something that we didn't like to admit to. Because we're proud Scottish people and proud Irish and proud British. But there's a good chance that we're probably proud slaves back in the day. You know what I mean? Most of us. Even serfdom. Slavery probably just evolved into a sort of serfdom eventually. But we're all fucking slaves at some point, man. And I think the Templars were a big part of that. Because if we were all slaves, well, who was doing the slave trading? If you can accept that we were all probably slaves to some power, who were the powers at the time? Well, you find it's all these families, all these fucking like the Robert the Bruce, the Brusses, and you find that they were fighting in the Holy Land. See, it's funny because Robert the Bruce, his heart, when he died, his heart was supposed to have been taken to the Holy Land. Well, guess where it ended up? In fucking Melrose in Scotland. That didn't get very far, did it? So his heart was supposed to go to the Holy Land, and it ended up in Melrose. Well, maybe it is the Holy Land. Maybe the first crusades, proper crusades that we're talking about to the Holy Land was here in Britain in 1066. These were the fucking real crusades. And they had crusades in Northern Europe. They talk about the crusades in Northern Europe, converting the pagans in Lithuania and fucking all these other countries, Estonia, and converting them. And they were known as Northern Crusades. Well, do you know what? There was Western Crusades as well. There was Western fucking Crusades. And they were coming over here to Britain, conquering the Holy Land. I'm telling you, this was the fucking Holy Land. When the Romans arrived in Britain, they were Hellenistic, they were Greeks. When they left, they were Christians. It's funny how Constantine, one of the kings of Scotland, Constantine? How is a king in Scotland called Constantine? Well, maybe it was a remnant of the old Roman fucking times. You know what I mean? Constantine. Alexander. Can you see these names? You're like, how the fuck are these Gaelic or fucking... How are these Gaelic names like? Or Scottish even, or Irish. CC, I'm ready for the Odysseus purge to fall upon the people and his invisible bronze soldiers. You Christians won't survive. Well, maybe the Christians won't survive, but the Pelagians will. Because we're not damned, we're not sinners. We're pure of heart. We're born morally neutral. Everyone is born morally neutral. You can't be born evil, you can't be born good. You can only make choices in your life, and this is what Pelagianism taught. And it's funny because Pelagius was Latinized. You know what it was Latinized from? Morgan. And Morgan was apparently Welsh. So Pelagian, or Pelagius, he was actually called Morgan. And Colestius, his wee buddy that probably spread his word more than he did, well, he was called Kelly. He was called Kelly, and they Latinized his name to Colestius. And Pelagius, he was actually called Morgan. So Morgan and Kelly, they were the first true. You probably say Chaldeans. You probably could call them Chaldeans. So I believe all that shit in the Bible is just it's been stolen and it's been morphed. Just like the way they're changing all the fucking characters right now in movies. They're changing the male fucking hero into a female. They've done that in history with fucking religion as well. They turned the males into the females into males, whatever. And now we're all believing the narrative that they feed us. There's bones of truth in it. Aye, because they couldn't change everything. They couldn't change fucking everything. sin is an old name for the moon. That's interesting. In what language? Sin today, sin tomorrow, die from sin another day. Nah, no one is a sinner. A baby can't be a sinner when it's born. That's bullshit. And Jesus didn't die for your sins. If anything, Jesus was just a good example of how to live your life a proper way. Can follow the fucking 10 commandments. Can don't steal, don't kill, don't fucking shag your neighbour's wife. Can all these things he apparently followed to a T. So he was held up in high esteem. But he wasn't some guy that died for the world's sins. I'm sorry to tell you. Because we never had the sins to begin with. Because this idea that they were born with sin, it comes from fucking the Middle East. It comes from a weird fucking pagan religion for the Middle East somewhere. Or Africa, North Africa. The more you sin, the more you age. Well, I must be doing alright because I'm 41 and I'm, like I said, I've hardly even got a specky grey in my beard or my hair. I'm getting the crow's feet though, I've got to say. I'm getting a bit of the crow's feet when I smile. I fucking... But didn't believe that shit, guys. This is why I know that the whole ancient priests in Britain back in the day, they didn't want your fucking money. They wanted to live as far away from society as they could to be closer to God. Like the old monks and the old priests, the old Celtic Christian priests, they wanted to go out in islands. They wanted to get as far away from civilization as they could to be closer to God. Whereas the Catholic fucking priests and bishops, they wanted to build churches and drag you in and take your money for you and create parishes. Ken, we've got a parish now. Ken, and a parish was a big bit of land that the church fucking owned. And the people had to come every Sunday to give their fucking money to the church. You know what I mean? I mind reading a story when I was down in Melrose Abbey, and it was kind of boasting about how Melrose Abbey there was a famine, and Melrose Abbey gave 3,000 people's worth of food to society to help them back. And I'm thinking to myself, how has the church got in their storehouses 3,000 people's worth of food so they could hand it out to you? You know what I mean? Because they're fucking taken. They're taken. There's been more than one Reformation in Britain. And they talk about the big Reformation back when they were trying to get rid of Catholicism, but there was a big Reformation, and I think that the big mass Reformation before the Catholic one was when Queen Margaret, who was the wife of Malcolm III, she went on the rampage in Scotland to get rid of every fucking Celtic Christian there was. She wanted Catholic. She wanted the Latin Catholic way in Scotland. So she went about her way to destroy Celtic Christianity. And that was kind of the end of the Chaldee. The Cali Day. The Cali Day of the Chaldee. The Cali Day. The Caledonians. The Cali Day. The Chaldee. The Caledonians. Well, she went out her way to fucking wipe out fucking any remnants of fucking Celtic Christianity in Scotland, that bitch. And do you know what? We took her in. Scotland took Margaret in because the Normans invaded fucking England, and she was the last sort of Anglo-Saxon fucking queen. So we took her up here, and she fucking went out her way to fucking destroy Celtic Christianity in Scotland. That bitch, Queen Margaret, is Scotland. And she's the only one that was made a saint. I'm sure she's a saint. Like Saint Queen Margaret. I'm sure her fucking remains are up in Dunfermline as well, beside all the other fake fucking Scots like Bruce and all the rest of them. Bruce wasn't a fucking Scot, man. These people were just vying for lands in Scotland. They didn't care about the people. They cared about the land. these fuckers. And they're all remnants of the Norman conquest. And like I said, I'm not holding grudges against, again, everyone's probably got a bit of Norman in them somewhere. You know what I mean? God, my son's ancestry, he's probably got some Norman in him, looking at his results. You find that the royal lineages of Scotland are, they're not very Scottish once you start looking. Especially the Stuarts. Again, Bonnie Prince Charlie came over to Scotland, couldn't he speak a word of fucking Gaelic or fucking anything. I think he was like a Frenchman. Oh, again, got his arse kicked in Ireland at the Battle of the Boyne. Now that changed everything. It seemed like more of a handover. I wouldn't be surprised if these royals set up two armies to fight each other, just to wipe each other out. Just to thin the fucking herd. You know what I mean? Like the feasts of Dunvegan. Yeah, I'm understanding that more looking at Royal Lineage of Scotland. CC. Spit and roots make fermented brew, and peat and salted petre make gunpowder. Powder. Yep. Is it salt? Is it saltpeter? Saltpeter, but they made gunpowder. I'm sure they made explosives out of guano, like bird poo. Right, guys, that's my beer finished. It's been 76 minutes. And I just want to say thanks for everyone showing up. You have been awesome, and it's good to see everybody. And I want to thank everybody for your well wishes. I'm going to start putting up stuff soon, guys. I'm going to do a little mixture. I've got so much going on in my head, I can't even put one thing out. But like I said, my computer is playing up big time, because I don't think I've got any memory left. All these photos I take, all these 4K photos I take all over the place, I put them in at my computer, and it just fucking, because it's an old computer, it just can't handle shit. I disconnected there. Good seeing you, Epic, CC, Flat Fact. Who else? Who else have I not mentioned? But like I said, I'm going to put some stuff out about the Chaldea. The Chaldea, or the Chaldee. If you look at the Chaldea and the Chaldee and compare them, you'll find there's striking resemblances. And you'll probably find that the Chaldea from the Bible, the Chaldeans, were actually Chaldee, the Caledonians. It's got it in the name, Chaldee, Caledonia. But I'm getting better, guys, and I'm going to probably have a live panel soon. I don't know when, because I've got kids, family, and once I get my computer working properly, I'll definitely get that going. I want to get some stuff about my history. I want to get some walks, some live stream when we do my walks, my castles. I love that shit. And I need to just go about unmonetizing my channel again. And if that means people coming up to my panels and talking shit about the whole world and getting me striked, I'll be happy about that. I'll be glad when YouTube says, nah, we're not monetizing your channel anymore. I hope they say that. So climate change is a lot of fucking shit. They're scare tactic on us. The Ukraine fucking war is just a lot of fucking shit as well. They try to fearmonger us into more money. Fucking, there's so much shit out there, guys. It's unreal. What can you do? What can you do? Anyway, people, take care. Have a good night. I'll see you soon. Love yous.